Well, good afternoon everybody, it's Richard here. Welcome back to Truck Camper Live UK and to episode 12 we're now into. I hope you enjoyed episode 11 and enjoy following along with me on this journey of discovery and also learning. And today I've got a bit more learning and I'm going to just share with you one or two things that I have decided to buy for the truck part of it and the camper van. So without further ado, let's get going. So this parcel arrived this morning from Millers, and Millers are a company that provide parts for cars, particularly Hiluxes, 4x4s. And so in this box I have got some interesting parts. You remember when I was talking to you about the pulley system? This is the bits that were missing that I need replacing. Not missing, but need replacing. So the first one is the main pulley bearing, and this part here is on like a spring arrangement, so which is quite a big spring in there, and this fits on the very front of the engine where the serpentine belt is, where the water pump runs from, and the belt, which is a new one coming, goes round that and then tensions to the water pump, so and run off the main part of the engine as well. So yeah, so that's there. Very nice, beautifully looking, very shiny. To go with that, we've got some other pulleys. There's two. These are very much similar. There's two of these. These are the tensioners, so one will be on the front of the engine, and I think one's sort of down here and one's over here, and they come with a set of spindles as well, and also a front cover, which is here, and also a piece that goes in between, that shaft piece as well. There are two of these. They're slightly different sizes, but you won't be able to pick that up too much on camera. This was the main part, so quite an expensive item, this. So the good news is Craig is coming out on a few days' time, Thursday, I think next week now. So he's coming to do that, so I'm looking forward to that. And he's going to do some other bits to check the front caps on the front of the bearings, that he, make sure everything's all right. Give it a once over, because I've been driving around and it's been fine. So those three items are a major part of the engine. Let's just show you there. So that's good. But yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Actually, that should be fun before the trip to Shropshire, which is coming up on the 10th of April. So he's coming out, I think it's the 2nd or something, to fit these parts, and looking forward to that happening. So there we go. The other thing that I found the other day in my local charity shop was this Hospice Hope charity, was these shelves. There are 3 of these. I've made some templates up so that I know where, so when you fit them on the wall you can do this. I only wanted one, but it comes in a pack of 3, and I'll show you in the camper where I'm going to put this. That's the template for the medium one, and then this is the large one. They fit on the wall, and they have some drop slots here, so you put the screws in and then they slot in. And whether I will need all 3 or not, I don't know. But the first one I need, because near the bed you need to be able to put your alarm clock or a clock on there, or something to put your watch on or whatever. And the position of the bed means that you can't really do that very well. But there is a cabinet there, a side cabinet, and I'll show you that when I get around to that part of it. And so this one would do really well. So, and you can imagine that's on the side, and then you can put your alarm clock here, whatever. I have got some dowel. I could put some dowel in here so to stop things falling off, but I'll see how we get on with that. But that's just a couple of things that I've found in the last few days. So if you can imagine that in that position, okay, straight, I just propped it up with the light there, and you've got your alarm clock on there, and other bits, that's in a perfect position there. So yes, that's where I'm going to put it, and it matches, the grain matches, almost matches. I think it's a good match actually, it's not bad going. So that's another improvement really. If I just lean here, you can see it will go there, there, about there. Perfect if you're in the bed, and you can put your watch up there and other things. So that's good. Yeah, very happy with that. So yes, find a place for the others. There we go, guys. There we go. It's up now. That's perfect. Put your and the light above it so you can see the clock, whatever else you want to put there. Perfect. And this afternoon I'm going to explore a problem which I've got with this truck camper, and I've got a solution of how we can fix that, or how I can fix that. So you're looking at me through the steering wheel, and I'm also sitting in the driver's seat. It's a beautiful afternoon. It's 20 degrees in the cab here, and so everything's looking good. And one of the problems I have is that with this truck camper is seeing vehicles coming up either side. And you can probably imagine I've got 2 blind spot mirrors which I bought on eBay, which are doing very well. They're little round things about the size of a 50p piece, I suppose, just a bit bigger than that, and they're concave or convexed outward, and they're working quite well. But I still feel sometimes vehicles creep up on me on the side as you're driving along. So I've got a bit of a solution for that. Let me just explain to you about this. If I just go. I'll just show you a bit. Hold on a second. So there we are. That's the driver's side, the right-hand side. For those of you, if you're in Europe or America, you probably would think, well, I'm driving in the passenger seat. And you can see there that the mirror is looking at the back of the vehicle. I can see the jacks there, and the back of where I'm parking just off the drive. The other one is exactly the same. To zoom in, you can see there, like that. It would be nice to have a bit more bandwidth, literally, and so I've got an answer to that. So let me explain that to you. So I've invested in some caravan towing mirrors, and these are them. They're flat. They're flat ones. You can see me in there, I expect. Hello. And yeah, so that's the left one, and then the right one. They come in this very nice little sort of plasticky type bag, which I probably won't need because I'll be on the vehicle, and they come wrapped in here. So I'll do that. I'll just show you that in a second. Another box from eBay, and I thought they were quite nice because they have got a nice clamp like there that they clamp onto the tops of the mirror. So you open those up. Let me just demonstrate. If I demonstrate this one probably a bit better. I'm just trying to make sure I get all this shot in camera. So you can undo this clamp, and then you can clamp them on the top of the mirror, and I'll show you where that's going, and then you can adjust the mirror itself. I assume you could probably turn these the other way if you wanted to and have them really outside, but they've got a bit of flexibility there, so I'm going to do that. But first of all, I'm going to also put a bit of oil, 3-in-1 oil in there, because these are going to be living outside, and I want to make sure that they're protected from the elements as much as possible. So I'll do that and I'll come back to you. So I've got the mirrors on now, so there they go, fitting very well, and they fit perfectly onto the Hilux wing mirrors, the chromium bits. They're not chrome, but it doesn't matter. And I've actually got them, I've just adjusted them. See over there. There'll be a bit of trial and error here, because clearly until I've actually driven Max up the road and that, I won't know. But I can. The premise I'm going on is I can see the back of the vehicle and the edge. So let me just show you. Just to say that I've also oiled the screws just to where they fit into the plastic, so that's quite good now. And also polished up the mirrors, so should be okay. The total was, I think it was £18 a lot for 2. That's not bad going on eBay. And I'll put a link to, if you're interested in these, I'll put a link there, so you, like I always do with all these bits, so that you'll be able to see what I see. Yeah, well done. So this afternoon I'm going to flush out the water tank, and I do that by using this Peri-Clean I bought from Songhurst Caravan some while back in the early part of the year. And this says here that you have to use something like 2 teaspoonfuls for 50 litres. I'm not sure how much that tank holds, to be honest. It sits on like a step before you go into the bed. So I'm assuming, so I put 2 level teaspoons in there. And then what you do, you agitate. So I've agitated with my agitator, which is this, like that. That's a clean watering can, by the way. And then I'm going to pour this into the tank, and then I'm going to fill it up and then leave it overnight and then flush it through a couple of times. So let's do that. It does help if you turn it the right way. So there we are, that bit's off. So we're going to fill this port. Let me just show you this a bit more. You can probably see that. There we are. I'm going to fill this. You're on the tripod there. Hopefully you could see me. And then I'm going to fill it with the watering can. I'm sure you've seen this before. This is always fun, putting this in here. I'm standing on the caravan stand to get a bit of height. I can hear it going in. Can you hear it going in? I bet you can. I feel like a bit like Blue Peter this. Oh, there we go. It's warm water, so it's all in there. And I will now get the hose. Right, so I've finally got the hose to work. Had a few kinks in the hole. Fits in that port quite well there, so I'm just filling it up. When it shoots back, we'll know that it's full, I assume. Let's talk amongst yourselves. Well, it's still going, about 4 minutes now, so must be quite a big tank. A bit like watering the grass or garden. Can't hear it filling up anywhere inside, so I assume it's just filling up. I did empty it at the end of last year, so I know it empties out. It all came out onto the pavement. So, I've discovered something. If I point the camera down, you can probably see that we have a load of water there, which means there's an overflow on this tank, which has run back inside the Hilux bits there, which I thought I didn't know before. So that's quite interesting in that respect. So, but yes, so we filled it up. So I'll now leave it for a few hours till tomorrow, and then I will flush the tank out. So, just flushing the tanks through. So far, I have taken out 24 litres. These are 12-litre bucket. This is a 12-litre bucket. So I left it overnight with the Peri-Clean in there. So just waiting to see whether it's a 36, maybe. I'll come back to you. Nice flow of water coming out the taps, that's good. There we go. See what's going on in there. Just turn the tap off in here because let's let the sink empty. See how much more we got. So I have taken out of those tank 48 litres of water, which is about 10 gallons, just 10.5 gallons. So my intention is to flush this through a couple of times, but to put back half of that, just over half of that, to take with me. I can measure that with some water bottles and then put fresh water back just for washing hands. Now I should use the kettle for other things, so I think that's quite good. No bits fell out, which is what I had when I started up the other day, so I think it's done its job, but I just need to flush it through a couple of times. Hi guys, I found a solution for that bit of the cupboard where the cover had been pulled off. I've used one of my stickers from Rhino and I'll put it over there. I thought they're rather good actually. Worry less, adventure more. Just about see that. That's so good. But yes, rather covering up that place that pulled off the laminate there. So I'm just doing the last washout now. So done it twice. And then we'll see the water's coming up much cleaner. And this will be the last final wash through. So the final wash through. Water's very clear now, and then I'll leave it and put the half the amount in to go away with. Fantastic, another good job done. So guys, under this pile I should find my trusted petrol mower, which I'm going to get out today because the weather's really nice. Let's have a look. There we go, really lovely day, and get some of the lawns cut on the house here. So yeah, so one of the most important things to do is every so often is to change the oil. So the first thing is to, which I've never actually done with this mower, is to locate the drain plug, which is here, and then luckily this is in the right position, and then change the oil. When I bought this mower on Amazon, I didn't check there was any oil in the sump, and ran it once without any oil, but there must have been some residual in there because it didn't seize, and it's been a real faithful servant ever since. This is a Sprint mower, so it's got a Briggs and Stratton engine, and which is what I quite like. And so she's on her side here. So let's see whether I've got any oil. I always find it rather amusing that you always seem to put oil on the top shelf, and I've got all this stuff in front, apart from my Quailcast mower, which is still waiting for me to deal. That's a real loyal friend, that one. Anyway, I'll get that down and then we'll have a look, see how much is in there. So here she is. Good. Looks like it must be a new one. Oh yeah, it is actually. It's got a full sort of complement there, a litre of oil. So I bought that a few years ago now. So yes, so we'll get the drain plug out and then drain the old stuff out. So I hope you can see that. I'm just going to take the plug out, hopefully, put it on the grass, so only leaking. It will then leak into the lawn, not onto my nice clean path. Okay, well perhaps that wasn't the drain bolt then, because that's just going straight through and I can see the other side. Okay, that's just a spare one then. That is odd, because normally the drain plug is always at the back here, so I will stop you and come back. So what I've discovered is this is a check, and there's no changing of oil on this machine, which is why there's no drain plug. And so what I'm going to do, because I think it does need changing, if I show you what the oil is like. There you go. It's quite dark, not too bad. I'm going to change it anyway because I've got my trusted container, and then we'll put some more oil in there. So let's do that now. But I'll show you the manual as well in a second. So sorry about the flick. But maintenance schedule, it says here, changed oil, not required on just add and check and add models, which is what must be because there's no drain plug. So there we go, that tells me a lot for this particular one, which is the Sprint. Here we go. And yeah, so sorry about this terrible flicking of the light. So yes, I purchased this in 2020, so these are the models here. So yes, this one is the 460, so Sprint. There we go. There we go. Right, let's change the oil. So there we go, the oil is coming out beautifully into the nice container there. Really black stuff. So I think it was due change. I think probably it's the easy way is just to drain it out from the drain plug that you put it in with. And we'll let it just do its thing. I've got another one of these containers I can use and swap it over. So there we go, it's filled a ice cream container, which I keep spared. So I'll tip that into another container and then I can seal it, and then I'll dispose of it legally by dropping it off at Helford's, I think. So yes, and then I can fill with some new oil which I've got. So there we go, I'm tipping it into a Waitrose milk container. It's about a pint it's got in there, I reckon. This is a 2-pint container. So I think that will work quite well. I'll let that drain in there, and then we'll top up with some nice new oil actually, and I'll let that do its thing. Plenty of time, let's fill the new one. So there we go, that's got about a pint I suppose in there, in that old milk, Waitrose milk bottle. So I'll clean the funnel out, so we'll then put the new stuff in. So let's put some 4-stroke in here. Nice new oil. Look at the colour of that to what came out. There we go. That's 500, that's, yeah, see, that should be okay. I'll just check the oil level. Oops. And we'll see what we've got there. Let's find the dipstick. The weather will change now, it's supposed to rain. So let's see what this does. To clean that off a bit first of all, because I can't see. Just bear with me a second. So with any luck, there we go. Oops, focus. There we go. Up to the top one, so that's fine. We've got plenty of oil in there, and that's good. Another good job. And the weather, look at it. It's going to rain now. After I was going to cut the lawn here. Never mind. Good job done. Anyway. See you soon. So I put in half of this litre, so it's 500 mils, which is about right really, just under 500, just 300, yeah, there, so it's not bad going. So that's about right. So let's put some petrol in here. I'll put some Red X in there because I always think that's a good idea. So this is my trusted petrol can. With its special filler arrangements, and we will fill this up for the season. we go. Where should I put the top? There we go. And we give that a wipe. There we go, my trusted jerry can. And yeah, let's see how we get on. It was a good idea to just wipe round. After you've done that, there's a cover that goes over here. That'll be okay for this session. And then we'll just start her up. Let's do a start up. There we go. My trusted ALM can here. Look. Good old one. Had that a while. There we go. 10 litres. There we go. So let's do a starting procedure. Quite easy, this machine. 3 pushes to prime the carburettor, hold back the handle, and hopefully nearly fantastic. Often we'll need another press just to prime the old carb as it's on its side. First pull of the season, not bad going. Well, third pull of the season maybe. Brand new oil, new petrol. Wonderful, there we go. So a couple of follow-up items. You may have noticed I did a bit about this level, and what I had to do is make sure that I was on level ground. And you can see I'm back home now, and this is not on level ground, but it does show where the level is. And clearly we're more forward than back. So what I did, I'll put a picture, I did it when I went to the gym this morning, and that car park I park in, where the buses park, it's a weekend they allow you to park there, I did it there because I know that's level, and so this is now the right place. So I put one of these literally opposite the rear axle. There we go, so it's there we go, so it's right over the rear axle. Well, damn it is. And yeah, slightly, so it's only just slightly off. Let's have a look at the other side, and then we can see what that's like. Oh, this one's quite, yeah, this side's quite a way forward again. So yes, I wouldn't expect them to be safe because this piece of road dips. So, but it's as good as damn it. Let's go, yeah, it's only this axis you're going to worry about. This one won't count. So, and then I've stuck it on with some firm sticky fixer things. I don't wish to make holes into the camper, so they're only pence, these things, so that's good. So that's one thing. The other thing is that Mike Brown from Demountable Camper Group suggested that I could change that sockets that was on the underside of the step for some washers. That's quite a good idea, and I was really grateful for that, but I think I'll leave it actually as it is, and because it's clearly been done to level up, and that's quite good. That's okay, yeah, as well. So anyway, yeah, that's that one. So this afternoon I'm going to replace this part, which I have cleaned. Now it doesn't look very clean, but in fact I just cleaned it with some washing up liquid. It's got oil soaked in it, so this acts as a filter for the carburettor. So, and then this piece fits. get down here. This bit fits over here like so. Let's excuse the fact I've got, there we are. Oops, there we are, nearly. And I'll come back to you when I've clicked it in place. I can't do it with one hand. So there we are, it's clicked in, and yeah, easy to do. So the first time it's been done in 6 years. Well, first ever. So yeah, so the mower's now back up and running. Just notice a sign that it says engine family. Oh, that's sweet, isn't it? But the bit about it is that it's a displacement of 140 cc's, and the bit I thought was interesting, it's not, this engine is not for sale in the US or Canada. Don't ask me why. Briggs and Stratton engine there, one of the best. So, I don't know if you can hear it or not, because it's quite windy up here. But this is the solar panel on top of Max. So I'm not sure what size this is, but 50 to 300 watts, I imagine this will be, without measuring it. That's a minus, the cables here. This is obviously a later edition because, yeah, it's looking good though. So this afternoon I thought I'd clean it off and then put some of that special stuff on that stops the water hoarding, which will then make sure that we get a good amount of sunshine, which will then give us plenty of electricity. So you've got this hatch here, just as a matter of interest, for the toilet area. You've got the main hatch in the centre there for the skylight, and then the far one is the bedroom there. So yeah, the seals are okay. I have cleaned this bit. I haven't done this latter part here, but it doesn't look too bad actually. And I polished it a bit as well, so obviously the weather hasn't affected too much, but yeah, it's looking good. So let's get the stuff. So there we go, I put the Gardex on. Hopefully that will keep the rain off. Well, it'll just bead off and keep the dirt off. That's one of my very good subscribers suggested that, and I think that was really good. Thank you very much for that one. I forget who that was now. I got this when I had my Fiat 124 Paseo, and I've had it ever since, so I've been hanging around the workshop for a while, but has had a good use. So I've had a fiddle with these mirrors. I think this is about right now, can't guarantee that. This side is definitely correct. That looks really, I've tested it out yesterday when I came back from the gym. That's perfect position. I'm not so sure about this one though. I'll have to play with it today, because you need to see what's in the inner mirror. That's the one that's fixed to the truck, and then the outer one, the new one, they must be in the same sort of position, which they are. So I'm hoping that they'll work together in tandem then, and you can see the blind spot. So I'm going to give this another test when I go out again. But anyway, there we are, yeah. And I've sorted out the Wolf box. Ages, but I've got that now working on the GPS, so that's that's very good. And I've discovered it records as well. It records forward even when you're using it as a rear view backup camera, which is what I use it for. So all in all, we're learning, we're getting there, and I hope you're enjoying this video. The next video will be the journey to Shropshire, to the Montgomery Canal. I'm meeting up with Rob, who's organising it all, on Thursday next week. That's after Easter. So until then, thank you for coming along. Please do comment and like, and I look forward to your comments very soon. Well, you take care. All the best. Bye for now. So, Craig has changed the serpentine belt, which you can see there, all those nice numbers on there. That was quite a difficult job yesterday because the company had sent him the wrong belt. It was 10mm too short. So because this one has an air conditioning unit, and there's another 3 litre that has a not conditioning unit apparently. So anyway, he's managed to get in there, and it was very tight anyway. So we now have a complete new pulley set, and what you can see there is the big thing here. This thing here is the air conditioning unit, which has got these pipes coming off it, and it goes around a set of pulleys and round the fan, and then it has a tensioner down the bottom, which you can see there. I'll put a picture of that anyway, which I did before. So, and there's no mouse squeak now. My microphone's sticking to the bonnet today. So there's no mouse squeak now. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to start her up, and I'll let you see that. So just bear with me, and I will do that. Let's get my keys out. There we go. We're preparing for the trip next Thursday, which seems to come around quite quickly. I've got loads of stuff to do. So. Right, here we go. Sounds good, no squeak. Air filter's been changed as well, so that's good. So the engine looking really good. Yeah. Another job done.